domanda, bussa.
Sorry folks, a little bit of traffic.
London Victoria Station.
Whilst we're waiting, just a little thing. The ducks have a great amount of history to them. I don't know if you know this, but they're actually 75 years old. I mean, the engine and everything's new. But they were made in America in 1942. And they were used for transporting cargo. And then when the Americans joined the fight, they sent 2,000 of them over here, and they were used not just for cargo but for troops as well. They were used during D-Day to transport troops to Normandy, and actually to Anzio in Italy during what was known as Operation Shingle, which is where my grandfather fought, so he would have been on one of these. So we have 14 of them, but 9 in use. The other ones are just kind of used for spare parts. The ones in America are mostly not used from the war, they're just ones that they built surplus. But all of ours all have war history to them. Clearly they weren't painted like rubber ducks, that's an addition afterwards. Something I find very dangerous. You probably notice people just sort of jumping out in front of it, and I think it's because they look at it and think, well, it's not threatening, it's a rubber duck. Except it's 6 inches of armour plating. It's quite literally a tank, painted like a rubber duck. Right, so finally we're turning on here. If you are a James Bond fan, this is a street you have to walk, Ebury Street, because it's where the creator of James Bond, Ian Fleming, used to live. Now we're walking down this area.
James Bond.
Suspension there.
Questa era grey. Sono niente questa. The James Bond. Ska gå in I vattnet.
So, on Ebury Street, down on the far right, there's a house, a little triangle on the top. There it is, that's where Ian Fleming, the creator of the James Bond series, used to live. And look down the left on Ebury Mews. Look how beautiful the street is there. That's where they filmed, that's one of the places they filmed Downton Abbey. Those are the old, that's where they used to keep the carriages used to live, and they've been perfectly preserved. This area is known as Belgravia. Belgravia was built by a man called Closer, and it is a very, very wealthy area. The problem is that it's actually too wealthy, and a lot of the time what we have here are embassies, because it's almost impossible to buy places here. A lot of the places are empty though, which is very sad. If you walk around you see a lot, you look in, there's nothing in. A lot of foreign investment, and that's actually kind of killed the area. It was a fairly residential area. Most of the shops, the local shops, have closed down now. But to give you an idea, Margaret Thatcher used to live just down here, on the right.
Rika människor bor här. Och ingen
Sean Connery as well, but he got in trouble. He kept trying to paint it.
Vet du det?
You're not allowed to. You can only paint it this colour here. And I'm afraid you can't go down B&Q either and ask for it, because the Grosvenor group is the ones who you buy the paint from. If you're wondering who the Grosvenor group is, they are the descendants of Lord Robert Grosvenor, who built this area. He was friends of the royals, and they were moving to Buckingham House, and he thought, oh, well, if the royals live there, I'm sure people want to live next to the royals. Why not build some homes and make some money? And he did.
Very rich place. Not affordable for the poor. Okay. So. Tagit oss längre än den andra. Den sitter.
today, Hugh Grosvenor is the youngest of the Grosvenors to inherit the fortune. He was only 26 years old in 2016 when he inherited the 13 million family fortune after his father passed away. And here is a statue of Lord Robert Grosvenor. As you can see, the first Marquis of Westminster. Although they did have a hard time in 1966 when they did the... do you remember the Land Act reform? It was basically the law saying that if you rented for a certain amount of time, you were given the option to buy the home. Well, that extended it here. So the Grosvenor Group lost a couple of properties, not many because you can appreciate not many could buy what they were renting.
Det tar lång tid att köra dit. Det tar lång tid att köra dit.
On the left coming up is our red phone boxes. People love to stop and take pictures with them. They become quite iconic. But if you do walk inside them, you'll find they're very tall, for a very good reason. At the time they were made, the fashion was for men to wear top hats. Yes, so they're made to accommodate a man in his top hat without needing to take it off. As we're coming around here, friends, on the left you'll see this lovely building here. This was the home of Lord Wellington. Wellington defeated Napoleon in the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Another magnificent arch dedicated to his great victory. It also was one of the smallest police stations in London. Isn't it? There's a police station. How about that?
Smallest police station with a very big...
Just around the corner, if you're ever walking down here, you'll see the Hard Rock Cafe. On the side of the Hard Rock Cafe is a street called Down Street, and it has one of 41 abandoned underground stations. We have these ghost stations in London. Now, that one there, what's that? He does the secret London tours. Oh, they're amazing.
Ghost
This one here,
station.
they just open.
Abandoned underground.
Is it being closed to public? That's right. Yes. Yeah, brilliant. Well, you might tell them something you might not know. So it was used by Churchill during the war for shelter, but it's actually where he invented the siren suit. Now, the only reason I know this is because I have a siren suit. My friend worked on that movie, The Kingsman. Did you see The Kingsman Secret Service? Great movie. And they wear these horrible things in it, which my wife thinks are disgusting, but they're the most comfortable thing in the world. It's a suit onesie. In the winter, they're a saviour, a suit onesie. And actually was invented by Churchill's tailor, because Churchill, during the Blitz, he didn't have time to get dressed in his three-piece. So his tailor from Savile Row made him a suit onesie that they labelled a siren suit because of the sirens that he could sleep in, and if he needed to go, but he was always photographed impeccably dressed. Yeah. On the left you see this wall here with this revolving spikes and the electric fence and the barbed wire. It's the Queen's Garden. It doesn't look like you could get in, does it? But in 1982, a man called Michael Fagan proved the opposite. He climbed over, shimmied up a drain pipe, made his way through an open window, and found one of the Queen's entrance. He helped himself to a bottle of wine, and gorged himself in cheese. Apparently he ate too much and he desperately made the toilet, but he couldn't find one, which is amazing. They got 81. He must have thought he would have found one. He didn't. So he went home to use the toilet, and nobody knew he'd even been there. A month later, he has a massive argument with his wife, goes to the pub, drinks till closing time, and then at the end thinks, well, I'm not going home, and climbs in. He probably had a hankering for that cheese, I imagine, because he made his way to the pantry, found another bottle of wine, and then realised he'd smoked all his cigarettes. So he picked something up which he thought was an ashtray. It wasn't. We never found out what it was, but it was one of the Queen's trinkets. And he goes looking for cigarettes. Bear in mind it's about 5 in the morning. He goes into a room, opens a set of curtains which he thinks is a cupboard. It was the Queen's bed. And as he pulls the curtains back, the Queen shuts up and says, "What are you doing?" And he says, "Looking for cigarettes, do you have them?" And then sits down and complains about how much of a pain his wife is, what a battle act she is, she treats me so badly, you don't even know what she said to me. Keeps talking as if they're the best of friends. I always love what she said. She said, "He's a lovely chap, I just don't think he's all quite there." After about 10-15 minutes, he asks for a cigarette. She says, "I don't have any, but let me get you some." She phones downstairs and asks the butler and says, "Can you bring up a packet of cigarettes and a lighter, and don't worry, I believe he's found an ashtray," and then hangs up. And of course the butler was up in about 3 minutes with the security and everything. They didn't arrest him though. They couldn't arrest him because actually there was no law against trespassing in the palace, no criminal law, so they actually had to pass them afterwards. Now, no need to say it, but it was a huge embarrassment, not for the security actually, but because the Queen or the palace had to make a formal announcement that Her Majesty and Prince Philip could not share the bedroom. That was the big deal, because everyone kept asking where was Philip. He was in his own bedroom. Thank goodness for Fagin though, if Philip had been there. Don't know if that would have been the same story. But I do like that story, and I'll tell you why. Because I grew up in it, as I'm sure many of you did. Because I grew up in the stories of Roald Dahl. And Roald Dahl read that story of this big friendly guy, and wrote the story of the big friendly giant, the BFG. That's where he got it from. Now, you all know Big Ben. But do you know about Little Ben? We have a Little Ben, and we're about to see him. Just as we come around the corner.
Little Ben.
Down the left, that's that modern art stuff.
Little Ben.
My wife's one of these fans. Spent 15 minutes staring at it.
Maybe come and say Little Ben. Big Ben is two, right? Oh, Little Ben is small.
Okay. Here we go. As we come around the corner, Little Ben. There's Little Ben. It's a perfect replica of the Queen Elizabeth Tower. Yes. It was, how about this, an anniversary present from the French to Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Speaking of which, actually, just on the other side of these buildings is a club called the Whites. It's a gentleman's club, members only. But the Whites is where Prince Charles had his stag do, his bachelor party, before marrying Diana. How about that? Yeah. Actually, just around the corner, before marrying Camilla, is the Witherspoons where he had his bachelor party. You can't see it, never mind, it's on the side there.